Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Monday morning, July the 24th. I can't even believe that July is almost over, but it's Monday morning, July 24th, episode 136. So glad that you guys are here this morning. I hope that you guys had a great weekend, and or at least that you survived the weekend with some, you're basically intact if it was a tough weekend, And here we go. We're off to another week. So we've got 1 week left of the month of July. And what can we do with 1 week? There's a question to start on a Monday. What can we do with one last week of July? What are the things we've been putting off? What can we do with this week? That's going to be the question for this week. What can we do with it? So let's see what we can do. So good morning, Kevin. Good to see you, bud. But got a lot of work done this weekend. Had a downer moment, man. So I've been working on this backyard project, building some stone walls and doing some things. And I had this brilliant idea to bring the water down, capture the water, run it off in a swale into a thing, and whoosh, out the back way. Sitting on the back way. Wow. Nice, very nice. So I had this whole idea to capture this rain, and I put down I built it, I put some fabric down, like some waterproof fabric type thing to capture the water, to test the concept. It worked perfectly. So then a friend of mine said, why don't you put down some asphalt, some soft patch you can buy it in the bags at the department store, and put that in there and make it a permanent thing. I said, that's a brilliant idea. So I went and I bought this soft patch, which when you're using it, you get tar all over yourself, even with the gloves. I went through the process of doing that, and then I dumped a bucket of water on it, and the bucket of water soaked right through it instead of capturing it and running it off. And it's a real thing, and it was a lot of hard work, and I was expecting a great result at the end, and let down. And so now, all night long last night, I'm sleeping, and all I could think about every time I stirred awake a little bit was, what am I going to do? Am I going to rip all this out, or what am I going to do? So it's a bummer when you have this thing in your head and you do all the work, and it doesn't pan out the way that you thought it would. So that was a disappointment. But on the flip side, my daughter Annika has a garden, and she is absolutely besides herself that she is reaping rewards and eating things that she grew. I'm amazed by watching her. It's exciting to see somebody plant something, put work in it, and then be surprised that there is a great result at the end of it. And instead of my experience with my asphalt, it was a bad result. Her experience is I can't even believe it. Stuff is growing. This is great. And we ate cucumbers yesterday that she grew, and she was thrilled. So it was pretty cool, man. I don't know. Never been into gardening, but it is fun to see her do it. So, but that's that. Got a shower thought for you here this morning from my favorite newsletter, The Hustle. Here you go. The shower thought is this. I have seen more surface of the moon with my own eyes than I have the earth. Strange, right? It's true, though. When you look up, you see half of the entire moon. I haven't seen half the entire earth, so it's kind of funny that we could sit here and dream about someday I'd love to be on the moon. When, guess what? We're here on the earth and we haven't even seen what we have here. Why do we need to go there? Good question, isn't it? Right? So I guess it's the whole thing, you don't even know what's right in your backyard or something. I don't know, but anyway, so I got some stories pulled aside for you here. Gonna start with something very exciting. I did not know this. I'm sure that that Star Wars people knew this, okay? Did you know that Disney World is building a Star Wars world at Disney World and Disneyland, both places at the same time? Did you know this? Kevin, that would be awesome. I already told her we got 10 acres of organic land out back. Start growing. And we got a tractor, so plant it up. So, yes, who knows? She may be a farmer. We'll see. So, but yes, Disney World is building a Star Wars world. Star Wars Land, as it's commonly but unofficially known, is a pair, because there's one at each location, 14-acre complexes slated to open in 2019 in Disneyland and in Disney World. It's promised that it will let people take control of Millennium Falcon, and put themselves in the middle of a battle between the First Order and the Resistance. This is pretty awesome, right? The official name, I guess, place will be known as Star Wars Universe. And it will be a universe that has not been seen in a movie yet before. So visitors will find a cantina, places for rebels to hide, stormtroopers, all those great things like that. That sounds really cool. Now, I know that they just opened up the Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney World. And I haven't seen that, but I did like the movie, and I'd like to see it. But the Star Wars world, they own so many movies and series of movies. They could open up these worlds like all over the place, and everybody would go because they're hits. So, but imagine going to Star Wars World and like walking along next to a stormtrooper, be like, hey man, wow, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. So anyway, Star Wars World is coming in the next year. Now, this story, guys, okay, in honor of Shark Week that just started today on Discovery Channel, okay, I was on Bill Gates' website, gatesnotes.com. Link to the article will be in the show links, of course, as always, okay? And he wrote a blog about the deadliest animal in the world. This is in honor of Shark Week, okay? What would you say is the most dangerous animal on Earth? Just think about that for a minute. What living thing, let's say living thing, not like horse, lion, living thing, something that lives, is the most dangerous thing? Take a guess. I'll give you a second. Okay, here we go. We're gonna count down. I got a list of them, okay? Sharks, 10 deaths a year. 10. This is how many humans are killed by these animals, okay? Sharks, 10. And they get an entire week dedicated to them on the Discovery Channel. Wolf, 10. The lion is 100. The elephant is 100. The hippopotamus, dangerous animal, 500. The crocodile is 1,000. The tapeworm, tapeworm, 2,000. 200 times more dangerous than the shark is the tapeworm. A roundworm, 2,500. The freshwater snail, 10,000. I don't know how that happens. Don't ask me. The assassin bug, which is like almost like a spider, but not, 10,000. The fly, 10,000. Dog, due to rabies, 25,000. The snakes, 50,000. Humans are responsible for killing 475,000 humans. The most dangerous living creature on the planet is the mosquito. 725,000 deaths a year are attributed to the mosquito. Isn't that amazing? Sharks, 10, mosquitoes, 725,000. And the sharks get a week of TV. Amazing to me, right? So why it's on Bill Gates Notes, as you know, is Bill Gates is a big philanthropist trying to knock out disease. So the mosquito carry devastating diseases. The worst is malaria, which kills more than 600,000 people every year. Another 200 million cases incapacitate people for days at a time. It threatens half of the world's population and causes billions of dollars in lost productivity annually. Other mosquito-borne diseases include dengue fever, yellow fever, and encephalitis. Sharks kill fewer than a dozen people every year in the U.S., and they get a week dedicated to them on TV. He actually says that right in his article, too. Very interesting article. Link to will be in the show links at freedomcommonwealth.com. Go to the morning show on Bill Gates' notes. So I thought that was very interesting. I would not have chosen the mosquito as the most deadliest living creature on the earth. Now, just so happens that I have another article from TheVerge.com about Verily. Now, Verily used to be called Google Life Sciences. It's a standalone company. And they have just, last week I think it was, began releasing bacteria-infected male mosquitoes in Fresno, California. Now you would say, why would you go release more mosquitoes into the environment? Why would you do that? Listen to this. The release marks the launch of the Debug Fresno campaign, a field study that aims to rid the Central California county of the mosquitoes, also known as yellow fever mosquitoes. This is a certain kind of mosquito, the Aedes aegypti or something weird like that. They first arrived in the air in 2013, are known to spread the Zika virus, dengue, and things like that. So they will release 1 million male mosquitoes every week for 20 weeks starting last week. These mosquitoes have been rendered essentially sterile by infection with a bacteria called the Wolbachia pupentis, which naturally colonizes mosquitoes and other insects in the wild. In time, the local females continue to mate with the sterile males, the population would drop. And that is their secret to getting rid of the mosquitoes, is basically just breed them out because they can't have baby mosquitoes. Pretty interesting, right? So we'll see how this works. I guess they've done this before and it's worked. I know we were down in the shore 2 years ago, I think it was, and at night they had the trucks that would drive through the streets shooting fog all over the place, trying to knock these things out. And all I could think of was, oh my goodness, I'm breathing this stuff in. Like, that can't be good for me, you know, but I don't know. So we got to get rid of the mosquito, deadliest bug on the planet. So let's jump over, guys. Let's check out our Google Trends this morning. Top 10 most searched things on Google as of yesterday. Number 1, Shark Week. Easy enough, right? Shark Week. Kevin, you are right. Humans do have their own documentary series about that. Cops. Perfect. You're absolutely right. Number 2 on the Google's search, CJ Watson. Number 3, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is a big YouTuber, keeps getting himself in trouble over there from all of his pranks, and he rents houses, which I don't know why he does that. Probably because he makes good money, but whatever, up to him. Number 4, Mexico versus Jamaica soccer game. Number 5, NASCAR race. That was yesterday. Number 6, Christina Milian. I don't even know who she is. Number 7, WWE Battleground 2017. That's wrestling. Number 8, Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 2. Game of Thrones is super popular, man. Number 9, Real Madrid soccer. Number 10, R. Kelly. Once again, hits the list on the Google Trends. So let's jump over and let's see what's trending on our news this morning. Top of our trending news this morning, Game of Thrones. Unbelievable, right? Just wildly successful. Next, People's Liberation Army. China demands India pulls back troops in border dispute. After that, Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps loses race versus the great white shark on Shark Week. I did see that last night. I was clicking through the channels a little bit, and I saw him racing, and he did get his butt kicked by the great white. So not that that was any surprise. I really didn't think Michael Phelps would win, but it was kind of funny to see him jump in the ocean and try. Next, South Florida Museum. Snooty, the oldest known manatee, suddenly dies 2 days after his 69th birthday. Wow, that's an old manatee. Next is, Andrzej Duda, Polish president to veto controversial court bill. Next is Anthony Scaramucci. Scaramucci says president won't have to pardon anyone. After that, we have the White House. White House signals it will accept Russia sanctions bill. After that, we have Takata Corporation. 2 car makers admit dodgy airbags refit. Okay. And last but not least, Kabul. There's a bombing in Kabul. Sad story to end our trending news on, but hey, let's run over, guys, and let's get ourselves a passage of wisdom this morning. Let's do that. All right, this morning. Okay, now, one verse. I picked this one today, and it may seem like it's only for one group of people, but I'm going to kind of stretch it a little bit. All right, so here we go. Today's passage of wisdom, or should I say today's passage of wisdom, yes, is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Okay? Now, here we go. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Now, this is a great passage for every young student out there, or even older than student, any young person or somebody who feels like they're younger than the people that are out there in their workplace or whatever it is. Don't let anyone look down on you because of your age and you're young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and purity. I want to stretch this a little bit, guys, and I want to take this to don't let anyone look down on you because of your youngness in faith, all right? Instead of age, youngness in faith. Sometimes, as new believers or people who haven't been, So for myself, I have not been a Christ follower since the day I was born. And you hear stories where, when did you believe in God? I was 3 years old and I decided I wanted to be a missionary. Okay, great. Wasn't me. All right. So sometimes you get around people who have been born and raised in the tight community with Christians all around them and Christ followers all around them. And you're like, yeah, no, I was in trouble here, in trouble here, in trouble here, in trouble here. Oh, yeah. And then, by the way, I did, and now I'm learning. Right. And you can feel an immaturity right along the way. I just want to encourage anybody who has recently, and you define recently, doesn't mean a day, a week. It could be many years. You could still feel that you are young in compared to the Christian people that you know. Maybe you feel that they are more knowledgeable or more holy than you, which is not true, right? But maybe you feel that way. Let me tell you something. One of the ways that we get to see God, because he doesn't walk on earth right now, one of the ways we get to see God is we get to see him in action and how people change and live their life. And there's nothing more exciting than somebody who is a new believer, somebody who is newly decided to follow Christ, and watch their life change and the excitement in them and their eagerness to learn. There's nothing that gets you more fired up than observing that and seeing Christ in motion, moving through somebody. There's nothing more boring than somebody who's been following Christ since they were 3 years old and you see no action, no motion, just nothing. Like you wouldn't even know because there's no excitement or spark in their eye when you're around them. So I want to encourage you. Don't let anyone look down on you because your newness in faith. But set an example for the believers, the people who have been around for a long time, in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity. We can all learn from believers who have been believers for a long time and newly ones. There's a lot of excitement there. So just a bit of an encouragement for you guys. And got a little excited there. I'm telling you, got a little fired up on that one. So it's going to be awesome. But little encouragement. Let's pray, guys, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, I want to thank you for today, this day, this Monday. And I want to thank you for this week ahead. We started the morning routine this morning thinking about that we have 1 week left to the month of July 2017. What can we do with this week? What can we intentionally do with each day this week to make this month be remembered because of the action that we took, things that we've been putting off, maybe conversations we've been putting off, relationships we haven't invested in that we need to? What can we do with this week? Father, be with us as we go through this week to encourage us, to build us up strong, hold us strong, and show us opportunities to take advantage of, to make this week a memorable week. Give us the courage to step out and step forward. Father, be with everybody today who may feel like they're young in following you and living after you, whether it's in age, whether it's in maturity, whether it's in knowledge. Be with them today and encourage them and give them a great day and show them how powerful they can be in their newness and their youngness and their energy and their just the spark in their eye and their eagerness for knowledge and to know you. And that maybe the people who've been around them, the older people in age and in faith, maybe get re-excited by observing that, and it ignites an excitement in them as well. Father, we thank you for your faith, your grace, and your love. Thank you for being with us this week and keeping us safe. We love you. Amen. All right, guys, that's a wrap. So glad you guys were here this morning. Don't forget to like and share. As you know, I've told you before, Facebook, our podcast, our YouTube channel, they do not spread the word unless we pay them, and we don't pay them because we don't have any money. So feel free to share it with anybody you want and put it on out there. So glad you guys were here. Can't wait to be here tomorrow morning. And until then, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. See you tomorrow.